Right friends, welcome back to lecture part of week 24. This 24th week is from 8th to 14th June and there is a small change from this week. Every week you have 3 modules for current affairs. This week also you will have 3 modules, but there is a small change. I would like to explain the change. This lecture part will continue as it is, there is no change. This lecture part will continue as it is, there is no change, and one module pertaining to news analysis and features will be added every week. Every week, one module pertaining to news analysis and features will be there, and the main purpose of adding this module every week is, I would like to go into deeper perspective of the things which have relevance during the week. During the week, there may be some instances which require deeper analysis. I would like to take such issues in the second module, and I would like to tell you this second module, name of the module is News Analysis and Features. Probably it may be useful even after several years also, because if you leave the figures part, the deeper analysis of the issue will be relevant even after several years also. And third one will be question and answer session. Instead of 2 question and answer modules, you will have only 1 question and answer module from this week onwards. Lecture part will be as it is. Second module will be news analysis and features, which will have in-depth analysis of the things. Third one will be question and answer session, and as far as possible, these 3 are independent. The issues covered in lecture normally will not be taken up in features part, and question and answer part will also be independent. So I advise all of you to listen to all the 3 every week, so as to have critical appraisal and perspective of the things happening all over the world every week. Right? First part lecture, second part news analysis and features, third part will be question and answers. That will be our mode of current affairs from 24th week onwards. Right? I hope if you listen to the lecture, news analysis and question and answers during 24th week, you will come to know about the changes what we have made from 24th week. Right friends? Look into the important events of the week 24. One is Army's operation. Army and Air Force collectively attacked insurgents in Myanmar. In Myanmar, insurgent camps were destroyed, which resulted in the death of around 50 to 70 insurgents. The next important aspect is the Indian nuclear insurance pool was created with 1500 crores. Dornier aircraft went missing after taking off from Chennai. KV Chowdhury will be the new Chief Vigilance Commissioner and Vijay Sharma will be the new Chief Information Commissioner. Entry of Reliance Jio by December. The price war in the 4G is going to hot up. Right? Look into the economy events. RBI liberalizes Know Your Customer norms. The other one is RBI revealed the concept of strategic debt restructuring. Strategic debt restructuring. Look into the other issue, G7 summit in Germany, and their main focus is the happenings in Ukraine. The other important event is ruling party AKP loses majority in Turkey, and Zimbabwe phases out its Zimbabwean dollar. Look into the other aspects. HSBC wants to cut 50,000 jobs out of 2,66,000 employees. Hacking of federal computers. USA expresses concern. It blames China for the hacking of computers. Iconic rock garden loses its founder Nek Chand. The other important aspect is terror attack at ancient Egypt temple, that is the Karnak temple near Luxor, and only 9 Indian universities make it to Times Asia rankings in the year 2015. So these are the highlights of this week. Let us go one by one. The first and the foremost is Army and Air Force coordinated operation kills around 50 insurgents in Myanmar. All of you are well aware, last week insurgents killed 20 personnel from 6 Dogra regiment, and now the army along with the coordination of Air Force destroyed the insurgent camps in Myanmar. All of you are probably well aware about the border with Myanmar. India has got long border with Myanmar, starting from Arunachal Pradesh, then Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. These 4 states has got long border with Myanmar. The insurgency in these northeastern states is primarily due to the fact that these insurgent camps have got their bases in the adjacent country Myanmar, and with the coordinated operation of army as well as air force, they destroyed insurgent camps, and around 50 to 70 insurgents were killed in the operation, and the operation was executed with precision. Here Dhruv helicopters were used. You can look into this picture. This is a Dhruv helicopter, and the helicopters which have night vision, they were also used in the operation, that is Mi-17 V5 helicopters. Please look into this picture. With the help of these helicopters, they traced the insurgents camps during the night time in adjacent Myanmar, and these camps are situated around 5 to 7 kilometers inside the border, and Indian army operation destroyed these insurgent camps. And the defense minister says that the operation was carried out with the knowledge of Myanmar authorities. Right friends, look into the next issue. Indian nuclear insurance pool with rupees 1500 crore was set up. What is the necessity of this nuclear insurance pool? When Barack Obama visited India during January 2015, nuclear deal was finalized, and one of the items finalized was, if any nuclear accident occurs in our country, the suppliers should not be penalized. Suppliers are from foreign country. Nuclear reactors are made by foreign countries. If any nuclear accident occurs here, if the damages are to be paid by the nuclear suppliers, it may run into crores of rupees, or it may run into thousands of crores of rupees. And the nuclear suppliers are not agreeing to that. As per the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damages Act 2010, as per the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damages Act 2010, they are supposed to bear the damages. When Mr. Obama visited India, it was decided, if any nuclear accident takes place, then the damages will be met from the nuclear pool. The damages will be met from the nuclear insurance pool, and 1500 crores of nuclear insurance is created accordingly. As per the agreement, when Barack Obama visited India, this 1500 crores of rupees of nuclear insurance pool was created with main contribution from General Insurance Corporation. Right? So the meaning of this is, if any nuclear accident occurs in our country, the damages will be charged to this insurance pool. The supplier from foreign country will not be responsible for paying these damages. That is the main theme of this creation of nuclear pool, the creation of nuclear insurance pool. Right friends, look into the next issue. Search on for missing Dornier aircraft. The technical know-how of this Dornier aircraft is of Germany. With the design of Germany, this Dornier aircraft is manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in India. This Dornier aircraft, the series of these Dornier aircrafts are into the Indian operations for the past 20 years, but only 2 accidents took place. Now Dornier aircraft, which took off from Chennai on 8th of June, went missing, and to trace this Dornier aircraft, lot of efforts are being made from various sources. One of the effort is INS Sandhyak was pressed into service. Submarine INS Sindhudhwaj was pressed into service. Then National Institute of Ocean Technology was asked to send Sagar Nidhi. You may ask, where is this National Institute of Ocean Technology? National Institute of Ocean Technology is in Chennai, established in the year 1993, and it sent its Sagar Nidhi. Similarly, Reliance Industries was also asked to map the ocean floor. So, government is making all out effort to trace the Dornier aircraft, and so far, except some oil traces, no clue about this Dornier aircraft, and 3 people went missing along with Dornier aircraft. Look into the next issue. KV Chaudhary is the new Chief Vigilance Commissioner. Vijay Sharma is the new Chief Information Commissioner. These posts were lying vacant for the past 8 to 9 months. KV Chaudhary, former chairman of CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, is now posted as the Chief Vigilance Commissioner, and T.M. Bhasin of Indian Bank was posted as the Vigilance Commissioner. Similarly, CIC has got its head. Vijay Sharma is posted as the Chief Information Commissioner. He was previously Information Commissioner, and Sudhir Bhargava was posted as Information Commissioner. This Central Information Commission was brought in the year 2005 subsequent to the Right to Information Act, which was passed in the year 2005. Here, anyone can ask for information from central or state government departments, and central government or state government department is supposed to give you information within 30 days. And as per the Right to Information Act, the commission will have 1 Chief Information Commissioner as well as 10 Information Commissioners. 1 Chief Information Commissioner and 10 Information Commissioners. As on date, 3 posts of Information Commissioners are vacant. Right friends, this is all about Central Vigilance Commission and Central Information Commission. You can look into this PPT for further details. Look into the next one. Entry of Reliance Jio by December. Another telecom war in the offing. Reliance Jio announced that they are going to start 4G services across the country by December 2015. By December 2015, Reliance Jio is owned by Mukesh Ambani of Reliance Group, and they are going to start this 4G services. 4G technology is also known as long-term evolution or LTE. 4G technology is LTE, that is long-term evolution, and it will facilitate viewing of high definition television and data transfer at faster speeds. Video on demand, high definition television and data transfer at faster speeds, these are the traits of this 4G, and they stated that the smartphone will be priced below rupees 4,000 and the charges for this 4G services will be between rupees 300 to rupees 500, and 100% national coverage will be ensured during the next 3 years as stated by Reliance Jio. And once this Reliance Jio starts their services, then ultimately a price war is expected among the leading telecom giants like Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, right friends? Look into the economy events. RBI liberalizes KYC norms. RBI notified easier documentation norms. KYC norms, you may ask a question, what is KYC? KYC is know your customer. To prevent money laundering, that means to prevent entry of illegal money into the organized financial system, these KYC norms were brought. KYC basically looks at identification proof as well as address proof. And in the address proof, for the low risk customers, you may ask a question, what is a low risk customer? Bank divides the customers into three types. The guidelines for us are not known, but bank knows how to differentiate between the customers. There are low risk customers, medium risk customers, high risk customers. Low risk, medium risk, high risk customers, and this liberalized norms for know your customer are brought keeping in mind the low risk customer as a simplified measure for low risk customers. That means for address proof, for low risk customers, as a simplified measure, the documents given here can be accepted for address proof. The documents given here are, you can look into this PPT, utility bill which is not more than 2 months old of any service provider like telephone or postpaid mobile phone or piped gas, etc. And property or municipal tax receipt like that, it is listed out, which includes a bank account or post office savings deposit account. Like that, these are the norms which will be taken as address proof for low risk customers as a simplified measure, right? Look into the next one. RBI announces strategic debt restructuring. What is the strategic debt restructuring? Before going into that, let us discuss what is meant by stressed asset. I would like to explain few minutes. Stressed asset. When banks are giving loans, some organizations or some people may find it difficult to pay back. If they are not servicing the loan for more than 90 days, if they are not servicing the loan for more than 90 days, then it will become non-performing asset or NPA. Like that, the gross NPAs in the banking system as on date are around 4.4% of total loans. Gross NPAs are 4.4% of total loans. Restructured advances are around 6% of total loans. What is restructuring? Restructuring is basically, if there is a genuine reason, somebody has taken 1000 crores of loan, subsequently no environmental clearance, no forest clearance. In such cases, banks can restructure those loans. On easier terms, those loans can be restructured if there is a genuine cause. And gross NPAs as well as restructured advances put together are called stressed assets. That means, if you look at the figures, 10% of the total loans comes under stressed assets in the banking system. 10% of total loans comes under stressed assets in the banking system. Banks have got around 70 lakh crores of loans. 70 lakh crores. Out of 70 lakh crores, more than 7 lakh crores of loans are stressed. That means there is major problem with the banking system as far as these stressed assets are concerned. They are on the increase for the past 3-4 years. Now, RBI came up with new guidelines, which is known as the strategic debt restructuring. That is, banks can take control of the company. Banks can take control of the company if the company fails to meet specific guidelines. banks can take control of the company, they can change the management, they can take full control of the company. If there is some problem, this is called a strategic debt restructuring. Whatever loan bank has given to the company, whatever loan bank has given to the company, that can be converted or that is to be converted as equity. Bank loan is debt. If you look into the company's balance sheets, it is debt. That means they have taken loan from bank. If that is going to fail, if the things are not going as per the normal terms and conditions, if there is a case of failure, then banks can convert that debt into equity. That means initially bank has given loan, subsequently banks can become partners in the company. They can change the management. Subsequently, after becoming owners of the company, they can sell their part, they can sell their shares to take back the money whatever they have lent to the company. That is about the strategic debt restructuring. For this strategic debt restructuring, this schedule is given. You can go through this PPT. The schedule is given 30 days, 90 days, 90 days. Right? The meaning of this strategic debt restructuring is, if there is a stress sign in the company, then banks or the lenders can take the affairs of the company. That is the meaning of strategic debt restructuring. Right, friends? Please go through the PPT. Let us look at the world events. G7 summit in Germany. In Germany, G7 summit was held. You may ask, what is G7? G7 is a highly industrialized countries group of highly industrialized countries. G7 consists of United States of America and Canada in North America, United States of America and Canada. If you look at Europe, the 4 countries are Germany, France, United Kingdom and Italy, and Japan in Asia. So these 7 highly industrialized countries are the group of G7. If you add Russia, it becomes a G8. If you add Russia, it becomes G8. Along with this G8, if you add 11 emerging economies like India, China and the European Union, it becomes G20. Right? G7 countries met in Germany. The main focus of the discussion is they are not happy with the actions of Russia in eastern Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine, there is an internal conflict going on between the armed forces and the rebels. There is a feeling in the Western world that the rebels are supported by Russia, but Russia denies these allegations. And finally, G7 took a decision to continue sanctions against Russia, because West feels that Russia is supporting rebels in eastern Ukraine. Second is Greek crisis was discussed. About Greek crisis, we are going to discuss during the next 1 or 2 weeks, because they have to pay a lot of money to European Central Bank as well as International Monetary Fund. They are on the verge of failure. We are going to discuss in subsequent weeks. The third important point is they took a decision, end of burning of fossil fuels by 2100. End of burning of fossil fuels like coal by 2100. So these are the important deliberations in the G7 summit. Ruling party AKP loses majority in Turkey. In Turkey, what happened? This Erdogan is the president of Turkey. In the elections held recently, he expected 2/3 majority, but he got just 41% of the votes. In the previous elections held in 2011, he got 49% of votes, but now he got 41% of votes. And the interesting thing here is the Kurdish National Party, that is People's Democratic Party or HDP, People's Democratic Party or HDP is entering for the first time parliament is entering parliament for the first time, and he expected a 2/3 majority because he wanted to change the constitution so as to make the country presidential republic, but this is a big blow to Erdogan and he got just 41% of votes. So, under these circumstances, rewriting the constitution to give more powers to presidential republic may be a Herculean task for him. Right friends, look into the next one. Zimbabwe phases out Zimbabwean dollar. Zimbabwean dollar during 2008 because of hyperinflation, it lost its value completely due to hyperinflation. Hyperinflation means when the inflation multiplies number of times, when the inflation increases abnormally, that is hyperinflation. Hyperinflation occurred in the year 2008 in Zimbabwe, because of which the currency lost its value. That's why every time in the monetary policy, central banks insist that stability of the currency is very important. Stability of currency is very important. Always a central bank insists on that. Right friends, Zimbabwean dollar lost its value in 2008 and unofficially at present US dollar is being used in the country, and now it decided to completely phase out Zimbabwean dollar by the year 2015 September. That means this year itself, by September it wants to phase out the Zimbabwean dollar. And do you know what is the currency exchange ratio between US dollar and Zimbabwean dollar? You may be astonished. One US dollar is equal to 35 quadrillion Zimbabwean dollars. 35 quadrillion Zimbabwean dollars. Quadrillion is 10 to the power 15. You might have heard about a trillion. Trillion is 10 power 12. Right? Billion is 10 power 9. Trillion is 10 power 12. Quadrillion is 10 power 15. So, 1 US dollar is equals to 35 quadrillion Zimbabwean dollars, and now finally it is phasing out. So, the stability of currency is very important. Right friends, look into the next one. HSBC plans to cut 50,000 jobs and slash $5 billion in costs. This shows the future ahead for many financial institutions because of technological advancements, because of the technological revolution in information technology. They are reducing the jobs, and the HSBC, which has got more than 2.5 lakh employees, is planning to reduce 50,000 jobs. They want to cut 50,000 jobs and they want to reduce costs by $5 billion within the next 2 years, and they want to come out of the operations in Brazil and Turkey. Right? HSBC is based in London and they want to shift their headquarters to Asia so as to reduce the costs. Right friends? Look into the next issue, hacking of federal government computers and the record of 4 million employees. Federal government computers as well as the records of their employees were hacked, and the data of around 4 million employees was hacked, and USA puts finger at China, but China denies these allegations. Right friends? Look into the miscellaneous events. Iconic rock garden in Chandigarh. Its founding father is Nek Chand. Nek Chand is no more. He created this iconic garden which is famous all over the world. He created this with broken crockery, electrical fittings, broken bathroom tiles, broken wash basins, broken bicycle frames. He used all these things to create iconic rock garden. He was awarded with the Padma Shri, and around 2.5 lakh people from India and abroad visit this rock garden every year, and this founder of rock garden is no more. You can look into the pictures pertaining to this rock garden. This is situated in Chandigarh. Look into the other event, terror attack at ancient Egypt temple Karnak near Luxor. Karnak is the World Heritage Site. It is situated near Nile River in Luxor town in Egypt. All of you probably might be familiar with civilization along the Nile River as well as civilization along the Euphrates Tigris belt, right. This temple was constructed, this temple complex I can say, this was constructed over a period of 2000 years. From 2000 BC to 100 AD this was constructed. This is the World Heritage Site and it is the second largest ancient religious site in the world. This is the second largest ancient religious site. The first one is Angkor Wat temple in Cambodia, right. And if you look at the other aspect, it is dedicated to the Theban triad of Amun, Mut and Khonsu, right. You can look into this picture, these are the gods, and recently there was a suicide attack here, suicide bomber blew himself up, luckily nothing happened to this temple. This is the World Heritage Monument in Egypt, right friends. Look into the next one. South Korean robotics team wins the DARPA robotics challenge. A competition was conducted in the United States by the Department of Defense's DARPA research unit, and in the competition there were several items which are to be executed by robots, like driving a car, walking on the steps, getting out of car, opening a door. All these items were performed by the South Korean team in just 44 minutes. The time given was 1 hour and they won the $2 million competition. South Koreans won the $2 million DARPA competition. It shows the days ahead for robotics as well as this South Korea. Asians are inching ahead in many fields, right friends. Look into the next one. Only 9 Indian universities make it to Times Asia Rankings 2015. Only 9 Indian universities. Recently, Times released Asia Rankings in educational institutions. The first place has gone to University of Tokyo, Japan. Second is Singapore University. Third is Hong Kong University. And China is leading the list with 21 universities, whereas Japan is with 19 universities in the top 100. China is leading with 21 universities, Japan with 19 universities. If you look at India, IISc Bangalore is topping the list with 37th rank, followed by Punjab University at 38, and India has got 9 universities in the top 100. That too, the first rank is at 37th. It indicates that a lot more needs to be done in the education field in India. Look into the last one of this week. India needs 100 years to end child labour, says a report by CRY. CRY is Child Rights and You. This is the voluntary organization or non-governmental organization based in Mumbai, established in the year 1979. It says child labour is decreasing by just 2.2% per year over the last decade, and if it goes on at this pace, it takes 100 years to end child labour in this country. It categorically says it requires 100 years to end child labour in this country, and unfortunate thing is, in the urban areas, during the past 10 years, child labour increased by 53%. During the past 10 years, from 2001 to 2011, child labour increased in urban areas by 53%, probably due to migration of people from rural areas to urban areas, and over 1 crore people overall are into the workforce, right? Child labour means the children who are working in the fields up to 14 years of age. The children, whoever are working in the fields or factories up to 14 years of age comes under child labour, and we brought the Right to Education Act in the year 2010, but 5 years passed, still 1 crore children are into the child labour. This shows the dismal state of affair in this country. Right friends, with this, let us wind up this lecture. Please do join for the new series, news analysis and features, right? Have a nice time. I once again remind you, from this week onwards, lecture, news analysis and features, and question and answers, 3 as usual, but there is some change, right? Have a nice day. Thank you.